Hello everyone, and welcome to Ludo History and Return of the Obra Dinn. We'll see if it is correctly loading. There it is! This game, released in 2018, was developed by Lucas Pope, who you probably know from Papers, Please, which is a phenomenal game in its own right that we may eventually play on the channel as part of this kind of weird emergent genre of dark Soviet-ish games. But this game is not that. This is a lovely investigative horror game. Based around the idea that it is the year 1807, and washing up on the shores of England is a ship that vanished 5 years previously, the Obra Dinn. No one is left on board, and your job is to figure out what the heck happened. As we're going through, make sure to let me know if it's too loud or things get a bit squicky with the sound design, because it does. Also, content warnings for suicide, murder, etc. But I am more than welcome for backseat gaming. If anyone knows solutions and I get stuck, please do help me out so we can make progress. But we'll keep going for a couple hours here. And if you guys enjoy it while you are watching, make sure to join the Discord server. The music just cut out there, that is intentional. Join the Discord server there, and make sure you follow and subscribe here on Twitch if you're enjoying this and want to help support the show more. On that note, let's get going. No fates solved. Lost at sea, 1803, the good ship Obra Dinn. Built 1796, London, 800 tons, 18-foot draft. Captain R. Witherell, crew 51 men. Last voyage to Orient. Cape Rendezvous unmet. Contact East India Company London office for inquiries or testimony. The Honourable East India Company. Attention, Chief Inspector, Insurance and Claims, London office. The Obra Dinn has returned. Dispatch to Falmouth immediately and prepare a full assessment. So, yep, we get to play as the an insurance adjuster. Truly the most impressive everything here.
Woke me up. Said you'd need ferry to the Obra Dinn. Not many eager for that job. Seems a bit late if you ask.
I didn't.
What's in the box?
I don't know. Hoist it up in a few minutes.
Hey! How?
Carefully.
We are incredibly sassy, apparently. So, this is the art style of the entire game. This is a style known as 1-bit. So everything is in black and white, this kind of vector art that is really trippy, but also really cool. And, yeah, we play as an insurance adjuster. So our job is to figure out what happened and what damages the company owes. Because while this is a company ship owned by the East India Company in 1807, I mean, obviously the Obra Dinn itself is fictional, but overall, it is a type of ship that is owned by... Whoop. A little bit of lag there. Owned by the East India Company to help manage its trade empire and its colony in India, which is one of the places that voyages would go, though this one in particular was going to probably Guangzhou or Canton. I'm sure it's fine. On its attempted voyage. However, it missed its check-in in South Africa and the colonies there on the Cape, and so it was just marked as lost at sea. Looks in good condition for being lost at sea, apart from the guy over there.
It's too heavy!
Sorry. Yes, I know. I will do something, I guess. Whatever, let's head back down and just see if we can just open it here and then grab the things and go out. But yeah, and the insurance adjuster was in...
Take it yourself or open it here.
Okay, okay, yeesh. Inside we have a book. It's a book, sure is. Anyway, inside the book is the story of the ship, the return of the Obra Dinn, a catalogue of adventure and tragedy. 1807. Nope, the stream is super dying right now. What I can try and do... Okay, fine. Yeesh. Sorry, we are getting some dropped frames, which is impressive, to be honest, given how low the graphics are, but I will see if I can turn down the screen resolution a little bit to hopefully make it better. Anyway, preface. I trust that you now find yourself aboard the Obra Dinn. I expected this day to come, and my every intention was to tell the ship's strange tale within the pages of this book. Regrettably, failing health has allowed me to produce only the basic outline that follows. Your presence on the Obra Dinn is critical. I leave the discovery of its fate and the completion of this book in your hands. The next few pages will seem bewildering at first. All will make sense in time. Use the pocket watch to determine the identity and fate of everyone aboard. Complete each chapter accurately and return the book by guaranteed post to the French Office of Affairs in Morocco. The bargain chapter will remain unknown to you. I possess the details within, but have elected to keep them private for now. Signed, Henry Evans. So, this game is a detective game. As we go through, we have 10 different chapters of this very much adventure game to find out what the heck happened, and the way we'll do that is by traveling through time. But first, as we go through here, the journey. We can see the path that it was, supposed to take. Supposed to go around here to Johannesburg on Cape Horn. And as it goes from Falmouth around through the Canary Islands, Cape Verde, the Azores, etc. We also have here a map of the ship. It has 4 decks, which is a nice-sized cargo ship. Main deck, gun deck, the orlop, and then the cargo hold. We have a list of the entire crew and where they are from. For the most part, we've got Englishmen and Scotsmen, with some Americans, some Irish people, and then a few people from all around everywhere else. The ones I particularly want to highlight here, if things move and work. Oh, getting some lag again. Here we go. I want to highlight these 4 from Formosa, because they will be really important. They are guests of honor on the ship, as they are sailing to what is modern Taiwan. But it was a republic in 1807, separate from, well, that attempted to be separate from the Chinese mainland. You should be getting similar vibes to Bram Stoker, Lunar Reveries. This game takes a whole lot of influence from Victorian literature, particularly the idea of the works of Jules Verne and Robert Louis Stevenson, but you definitely have some of the other authors kind of tagging in here and there. Here we have our 2 maps of or 2 pictures made by 1ES. And showing 2 scenes aboard the ship. One of just life at sea, and one of an execution. As we get enough information to identify individuals, their portraits will clear up in the corner here. They will not be grainy, they will be sharp, and so we will know we can theoretically identify them. And then a whole bunch of just empty chapters. A lot of empty pages here. This is the part where we are trying to figure out what the heck is happening. The doom, the bargain, escape, and the end. And we have a pocket watch. The memento mortem. This pocket watch lets us go back in time to the moment of which any person whose remains we have dies. Oh. Come on, like, oh. Okay. Let me see if we can actually do anything about this. Oh, great. So no, we cannot do anything about the screen resolution, but we can do amazing things about the look sensitivity. I've got to try it. I've got to see what is a parody of Control. Oh no! Sorry, I will not do that. Here we go. Potentially. Loading. Still loading. Hello. Yes. So hopefully the stream will recover and not stay laggy for too long. But, you know, let us start our job of figuring out what were the damages on this ship so the company can pay its insurance bills. Which was incredibly important. But the way we do that is by doing this.
Captain! Open the door! Kick it in. Ah! Lest we break it down and take more than those shells! You bastards may take exactly what I give you!
So, we hear the audio up to the moment of death. And then we have a scene in which we see the exact moment at which someone died. So there's a guy running up here. There's a guy here. There's a guy here. And looks like that's it. Just you running over here. And yeah, Meerkat, I'm glad you showed up. You can probably say more than I can about some of the details here. Such as, you know, the entirety of the boat. So, we get to wander around this scene, more or less at will, for a little while. In order to take in what we can. And within that, we should have the information required to identify somebody. And, being a new scene, we get a new information. So this corpse showed up near the very end of the voyage. Somewhere around the Azores. Location of the corpse, who was present, and who is it, and how did they die? Well, we can actually kind of guess. We know how he died, as it turns out. Was shot by something. That something is a gun. By Robert Witherell. This person's face appears blurred throughout the book. The blurring indicates that you don't yet have sufficient information to determine their identity. Their fate may be known, and can be entered now. Trying to name them while their face is blurred would be unproductive. Carry on and pay attention. Faces will become unblurred when the information necessary to identify them has been revealed in some way. So we do not know who it is, though we can make a fairly educated guess. But, well, we can wander around the space a little bit longer. But, yes. Let us go. Through the door. This game is excellent. And having completed this, we open the door here in the scene, and so the boat opens up a little bit farther. Inside, we have 2 more corpses. Gee, I wonder how that went. Hello? Well, that door is super locked. Well, I suppose we should actually look at these corpses then. So, at this point, it's pretty much just the tutorial, getting to see as this happens. And hello to all of our people.
Must be in here someplace. They're at the bottom of the sea. That's a lie.
Well, gee whiz. Look at that guy. The captain doesn't seem to quite know that there's someone there. So that's probably not great, but, he got stabbed. And he got knifed. And we get a look out at the pretty, harsh white ocean. The one bit can be really glaring at times, and I'll admit that I get a little bit nauseous if I stare at this for too long, but luckily a short stream like this is going to be totally fine. But yeah, we are a whole 2 minutes into the game, and someone has been shot, and someone got knifed while the captain has been stabbed. Well, we actually should, on the previous page, actually have enough information. Unknown fate. That fate is... well, knifed. By the captain. We should be able to, though. I actually should be able to... no. Fine. I actually have a pretty good guess as to who this is. It should be William Hoscott. This may or may not be correct. Fates are validated in sets of 3. Correctly identify at least 3 people and their fates to have the information typeset into the book. The reason why I think this should be William Hoscott, is because one of the people we heard, was Scottish. He clearly wasn't the one running up the stairs in the first scene, because, he was running up the stairs, he had a knife in his mouth. And it's clearly not the guy here, because in the scene we just heard, in which the other guy standing next to William, died, he had an English accent. This guy. So that only leaves our one Scotsman. But, well, oh, camera, please. Also, let me get my parity of control back into sanity, because I enjoy seeing things. Okay. Game has loaded, so we can go back out here. And out the door to see another thing. Anyway, so nominally what we're doing is we're trying to assess the damages of this ship and what was missing. Apparently something was, because we have no idea what were they. This guy was looking for something from the captain, but the captain threw them into the sea. No idea what that something was, though. So, we probably want to figure that out, because I'm sure it's important for our damages. Okay, well, you were bleeding out that whole time. You got stabbed, and then you got, well, your brain bashed in. Unlucky. Yeah, it's super dull. That's a super good description, Dragon Wolf. What it is. A little bit Ace Attorney. A little bit, Huh. Who are you? I know who that is, but, little bit important. Oh, hey, he's using the spear that he got stabbed with. He just ripped that out of his own shoulder after he got knifed. Well done, Robert. Such a badass. Anyway, while I say that we are technically working for the East India Company from the Central London office in 1807, realistically what this game draws on more, and we will see it very soon, is the adventure novels of the 19th century. Don't know who it is, but he got clubbed by Robert. Can't do anything with you? Okay. Yep. Yep, I know, but for the convenience of everyone who's watching the VOD in chat, I don't want to be using Discord screen names for Twitch when when you guys have a different name. Well, you're looking good, lady. We should probably see who this is. Not that there's a lot of question, but that's okay. This one's kind of sad.
Abigail, your brother, my friend. I shot him dead. I'll be with you soon, my love. Please forgive me.
And
for everything.
Here's the part within which the sound design of this can be a little bit... Thank you, I don't want to zoom in on that. The sound design of this can sometimes be a little bit too good. So, and people die in this game in rather horrific ways. So, we're not gonna dwell on that, because... yeah. We don't need to sit there and stare at the poor captain. So we'll head up here instead. Anyway, that should let us identify a couple of people. That nominally lets us identify the person we already identified, though I should probably confirm that. But you can see here, we now know with a very high degree of certainty who this person is. Ta-da! They're no longer blurred, which means they can now be identified. Use the book and the pocket watch to gather enough information to deduce their identity. Revisit memories on the ship using the pocket watch to study relationships, appearances, and activities. Use the book maps, crew manifest, and artist sketches along with the individual conversation logs to find clues about names, relationships, appearances, and roles. There were 60 people on the ship when it left England. Determining everyone's identity and fate will not be easy. Decisive information is rare. You'll have to make assumptions using partial information. Some identities may only be revealed through a process of elimination. Good luck. This soul. I can actually, suicide by gun. I can actually confirm that right now, because if we scroll down here, we can see, like, they have a role at each point. Abigail Hoscut Witherell, passenger from Scotland. The person that got shot earlier is William Hoscut from Scotland. Pretty safe deduction that the guy who got shot is Abigail's brother, his brother-in-law. So this has already gotten extremely grim. It does not necessarily get better from here. Sometimes the sound design is incredible. It's all incredibly good, but sometimes it's rather squelchy, is how I phrase it. So, we saw 4 deaths in this chapter. He was shot. We don't know who that is. We don't know who that is. And the captain shot himself. But here we go. We have one more person to look at. Abigail. Her outcome is not happier, though we now jump full on into the adventure story. This guy must be murdered, I would assume. This is Abigail, who apparently got smushed in the when clearly just a normal, ordinary storm with nothing particular to look at. Yep, just a normal thunderstorm, and definitely the ship just the yardarm broke and it dropped and it crushed her head. Everyone's fine. Everyone's totally fine. There's nothing to see here. Nope, nothing at all. Totally ordinary. Yeah, there sure is a kraken in this scene. As I said, this game leans hard into the adventure stories, and kind of the supernatural elements. I love that it does, because while I'm not aware of really any sailing books set in 1807, there is a real love in the Victorian era of adventure literature set in the height of the East India Company. We know perfectly well who this is. It is Abigail Witherell. Was crushed by rigging. Ta-da! God dang it, Meerkat. You missed the totally normal storm with nothing important happening in it. And we got 3 fates correct. We got the first mate, we got the captain, and we got the captain's wife. 1, 2, 3. Oh, a thing is happening. So, the Memento Mortem, lets us go from dead person to dead person. If we see in a scene someone died that we have not seen yet, even if their corpse is not around, we can activate it. And it will lead us around in this super spooky ghost light to the location on the ship where they died. This is another one that's actually really easy to identify, which is helpful, because starting off easy is just good game design. It gets hard quite quick. And now we get to listen to someone else die again with lots of squelch. As I said, squelch. As they're trying to shoot down this Kraken, which has taken out a boat, and lots of other people. Cool, so he threw the gun over there. And, you seem pretty dead, you know? They chopped off a tentacle. Good, they hurt the Kraken. And, those people are all... Those are people. So, clearly this fight is going well? Yeah, it's dark. And this is a thing that I think the game's aesthetic both kind of really helps and really doesn't help. Because the specific literature I feel like this probably draws on most is a mix of Jules Verne and Robert Louis Stevenson. Let's see. The reason why I guess this, or why I'm quite confident on this one, is no one else would have that kind of body tattoos. Though, I mean, well, I do not know enough to say that the style is actually authentically Maori, but it sure looks like a particularly Polynesian style of body tattoo, and just the practice of being heavily tattooed like that. So, it is our initial first guess. Let's see. So he could be alive. He can't be alive. Not axed, not burned, not clawed, not clubbed, not crushed, not decapitated, not drowned, not eaten. Not electrocuted, not expired, not exploded, not fell, not froze, not... Nope. Torn apart. By a beast. Oh yeah, that was like 6 people dead in one scene. Kraken fights don't go well. But this is the one we shall be led to next. Boo. Boo pawns. But the aesthetic here being all one bit of color, it kind of softens the sheer horror of it, and it is truly horrific how some of these people die. Someone later is going to, in the same, actually at about the same moment, but below decks, someone is going to get a cannon pulled out of its... after the cannon is loaded and the fuse is lit, it tips and blows someone's head off. It gets pretty dang gruesome. But since it's all black and white, or other shades of color. It kind of de-emphasizes the horror while still leaning into the sound design to communicate just how terrifying it must be. Oh. Right. That's this one. As people are coming up from below decks and not doing a good job. He still is alive. He's around there. And, our deceased person is inside the explosion. Poor kid. Yeah, and I really, I love and I hate that it makes you just listen to it first, and you know it's coming, but you can't look around, you can't distract yourself from it, you just have to sit there and listen to it, and it makes it really terrible. Exploded. And that got through everything we had that we can actually positively identify on this tilted, Kraken-infested boat, and so we can leave. So anyway, the Kraken is is very, very old, actually. I believe it comes first out of a Norse context, medieval Norse, of course, because I have one obsession, and my god, I will stick to it. The first known adaptation I know of the Kraken called as such is in the encyclopedic texts Konungs Skogsjau from 1250. But it is a whale in that text. And unless it is the one of those whales from Dishonored, which was both a whale and had tentacles, I don't think that's a whale. Super don't think that's a whale. But certainly by the early 19th century, the common belief of the Kraken was correctly that it is a gigantic squid. Obviously, it appears in 20,000 Leagues Under the Seas by Jules Verne, and ends up being really one of the only serious threats to the Nautilus in that story. But that is the type of genre of literature that this story is telling, and I love it for that. Loose cannon. Gee, I wonder if that's why he's loose. More Krakens! Obviously, the idea of there being gigantic marine things in the ship, or in the ocean, that could totally ruin a ship's day, is not implausible, but, you know, the 19th century was just universally thalassophobic, and that's probably for the best. Oh yeah. Who is this? Actually. Oh, that's this one. As I said, certain lack of a head attached. There, I'm sure it's fine. That is several tons of steel, squishing your face. It's probably not as bad as the guy we're about to see, but it's pretty bad. Anyway, We don't know who it is, but they were crushed by a cannon. And yeah, poor guy. But, so, something I wanted to kind of talk about here that I am not doing a good job in the midst of all the actual playing the game is the idea, and something I'm still trying to figure out, is, like, obviously this story has a lot... hello? Let me through, please. I am stuck. I am... Could you... Nope, not what I wanted to do. Yep, I know that's the chapter. Thank you. Yes, thank you, I know. I want to get past. Let me walk. So, I suppose this is useful information to know. You don't have to just listen to the audio after you have done it once. You can go around and actually, like, you know, take a look at what's around in the scene while listening to the audio and try and piece the whole scene together. Find out who the heck's talking at any given moment. Yeah, Lunar Reveries, that's one I hear a lot. It's actually one I don't agree with, on the... Because while it's tempting to say, oh, the Kraken is actually a legitimate thing, giant squids are not that big. Giant squid is not... They're huge, but they're not that huge, and they don't... Oofed, dude. My guy. You are underneath a cannon. And that knocked that cannon loose, which ran this guy over. Meanwhile, this guy. Sorry, let me identify this as a human. You can see that there's a body underneath this cannon. You can clearly see there's a body underneath that cannon. But nope, I'm not allowed to see it. Yeah, that's... Okay, that's actually a guy who survives. He dies later. As does he. As does he. Yeah, it is... This game does such a good job of, what happened. And it tells you the order of events pretty clearly. So, oh, good, it just says both of them. The guy who got crushed by the cannon, and the guy who got his face blown off by the cannon. No, not clubbed. Clearly not clubbed. Shot? By a cannon. On accident, but we actually don't know who lit the fuse. What I can say... No, it's not that. Thank you. We do know that this guy survives, by the way, because he signed his name at the very beginning of the thing. I can actually say that he's probably... I am pretty sure that this guy is Christian Wolf, but we will actually wipe it for now of just unknown. And, met an unknown fate, this guy was crushed. No. Crushed by the cannon. 1 and 2. Well, 4 other people. He died. He died later. He's the one who died. And then these 2 were around. He dies later. He dies someone else. Anyway. Oh, wait. If it's not that guy who got crushed, then who's the other guy who died in that scene? Huh. I thought it was this guy who died in that scene. Well. No, it does not. We will have to identify who lit the fuse for this cannon. Anyway, the thing I was trying to figure out before I get too carried away here is the question of, well, while this story of kind of adventure and all the horrors of the sea is very, very popular in novels, I see what happened. So this should be the... Yep, that's that guy, that's that guy, that's that guy. This is the Russian dude over here. Yeah. And, he's the guy who died here, though I didn't actually... Oh, they both got shot. Okay. I need to change that in the previous one. And then this guy is the gunner, who I think I can now say actually is the gunner. Because you could hear him talking, though his top hat fell off. But you could hear him talking and he was clearly Austrian. And yeah, you can kind of get what I mean. It's super on the sound design. I love it, but ooh boy, does it make your skin crawl sometimes. So, I need to actually say, who is this? This person got crushed by a beast. While on the previous one, sorry, the next one, this guy was actually shot with a cannon. By this guy. That's the thing. These two, their fates say that they were blown up with a cannon by this guy. We haven't heard who this is yet, so we can't do anything here. But I actually can identify that this person is the gunner, because if you check... Well, actually, let's go to the table of contents here. We can go to this sketch, and we can say clearly he's standing here, so he's some kind of officer based off how he's dressed and the fact that he's wearing a hat. And we heard his voice, and we know it was some kind of German-ish accent. And on the ship's manifest... Try anyway. We actually have two people. We have Alfred Klestel, and we have Christian Wolff as the two options of people who would have that accent in this time period. Or on this boat, I should say. Not in this time period, because turns out lots of people did. But yeah. This is what we call unlucky. And yeah, it communicates the horror of like something like kidnapped or these big fights at sea. And how instantly devastating it is. Like, you just turn into a mangled puddle of goo at a moment's notice. Well, gee whiz. The suspicious knife didn't have anything important there. Anyway, the thing I'm still trying to figure out, with this, whole thing is that while these genres of literature are incredibly popular in the 19th century, the novel are always follow a fairly formulaic thing. They are the writings of someone after the fact who survived and wrote down the story and told it from the beginning. I mean, Moby Dick has this. Yes, please open door. Kidnapped has this. Treasure Island has this. 20,000 Leagues Under the Seas has this. So it is incredibly traditional framing device. this game kind of follows it in that Henry Evans is ultimately the relevant person for telling this story. But he actually, well, he tells us the story very far out of order. And I'm still trying to make sense of that. Hello? Could you not? There we go. Third time's the charm. Yeah.
Oh no, you're cut.
Don't leave me.
Bear up, son. I'll stay with you.
Tell Pete's mother I tried my best
Aye,
to pull him back, to save him.
you tell her yourself. Brennan, bring the surgeon's kit.
Well, you are extremely Scottish, whoever you are. And this kid, we didn't get his name. But we did get someone else's name. Someone is running down this way. Unclear which of the squad this is, but, something sure as hell happened here. Something sure as hell happened here. And the blood drips all the way from over here. There's this guy, who's the guy who died a little bit later. Yeah. And then this guy here, is... all we know about him is that he's Scottish. Actually, we know exactly who that is. That is, William Hoskett, the guy that the captain shot. But yeah, that is a lot of blood. The guy totally exsanguinated on us, and kinda unlucky of him. So, now we have the chapter called Escape, which occurred in between the Kraken attack and the ending that we saw. So, now, that being said, I'm actually going to back up here. Not bargain, attack, the Doom. This one, we can actually identify now. Because the guy who just died, called him Pete. Russian, Indian. Where is he? Peter Milroy. Easy enough. Because he's the only one we've seen so far. I mean, you can see, must have happened recently, because pulled back. And the only one who needed to be pulled back was the guy who got blown up. Anyway, he got knifed. We don't know by who, though. While a few others are present. The first mate. And, oh look, this guy's actually has cleared up, which means we can actually identify who he is, which means his name must be Brennan. Actually, we need to go farther this way. This unknown soul, whose name is, where is he? Hello? Come on, Brennan, stop hiding. Am I just blind? I might just be blind. Yep. Good call. Last name, Henry Brennan. Four, 5, 6. And we might get some lag here, because apparently that is the most stressful thing my computer can possibly conceive of, is drawing lines in a book in one color. I got nothing. Anyway, you died. So, let's go see how you died. Anyway, I don't know, do you guys have thoughts as to kind of how it changes, this kind of whole story? I mean, there's a lot of story left, but we're hearing the ending of the story first. And we have to work our way back quite far from there. So, do you guys have kind of thoughts as to how this might change this kind of very typical, in many ways, adventure story narrative? Cool. Game? Game, please. Game? Come on. I believe in you, game. Thank you. This guy apparently just shot this guy. While you, Brennan, just clubbed him. While you are going this way as the kid is crawling into a closet to die. Oh boy, yay skipping frames. You know, my computer's not even running that hot, so I've got no idea why it's doing that. Yeah, I guess it does. The adventure, it is not trying to figure... It turns it from adventure into mystery, and from, excitement about what will happen to trying to figure out how things went so bad. Clubbed by Henry Brennan. Yeah, I like that take. It's like basically just a genre, forces a genre shift out of the same story, which I love so many things about this game, but the idea of just changing something as simple as changing the order the story is told in completely changes it, because, I mean, realistically, like, how many of you in chat think, that, like, Treasure Island is a horror story?
Captain Campbell. You have a plan? Yes. Big ship was sent east. Trade rich fish and shells for gold. Hey, who's there?
Mutiny! Mutiny!
Fresh bastard.
Well then. So, you just got knifed. You, the guy who just died, blew his brain off. Well, Furby, what part of the description don't you agree with? Oh yeah, and up here. Someone's coming down because they heard the call of mutiny. And who's up here? The captain. The captain is looking pretty rough for wear. Meanwhile, huh. More corpses. This is why exploring your space is important, because there's always more dead people. By an unknown fate. Shot by a gun by we don't know who, because we don't know who yet. Uh-huh. What? I didn't hit the thing. Please don't do this, watch. Hi, vey. Anyway.
Let them go!
Let them go must have been the captain. You just got killed. Poor guy. You're doing something. One of the passengers just did that. Nice. And hey, look, it's our survivor. It's like our one survivor. And he's the Russian dude from earlier. And down here there's someone else too, but I cannot jump, and so I cannot actually go look at people. Well. Anyway, yeah, I mean, there still is a lot of mystery to this, because we are still starting from the question of why is everyone dead? But then we are definitely working backwards, from why is dead to how did die. Oh, yeah, I mean, Treasure Island as it is, and Treasure Island's probably not the best example of this, but it definitely, I think, has relation. Anyway, also got shot by a gun. We only have two options. We really only have two options. There are only like two not Abigail female passengers, female European passengers on this boat. But yeah. The imagination would be like, what if Treasure Island, hello? Yes, could you keep... Yes, thank you. Because we know the story of Jim and, Long John Silver. And if we started from the end of either from the captain's betrayal, or from his betrayal of the captain, or his the final escape, and the corpses he left behind. Damn indeed. Okay, there's you, there's you. They actually both go down, don't they? Because what happens if we go down? If we go down here, we got someone eavesdropping. And another dead person. He's the guy who gets killed there, and he's the other one who gets killed there. And you're the one who dies later. A lot happens in this scene. Very much like piratey nautical adventurings and much less Kraken attacks, but you know, still very relevant. Yeah, a better example by Robert Louis Stevenson would probably be Kidnapped, which is set in the 1750s. So a little bit before this, but has a lot of the same kind of things. Oh, wait, we actually can know who this is? How do we know who this is? I am not sure I know why... This is not supposed to be a hard one to figure out, but I don't know why or who that would be. Oh, was the name called out? Okay. Well, presumably it's Paul Moss then. That is the only Paul on this ship. Oh yeah, it does say Paul Lookout. Yep. And once again, we must go in search of dead people. Our mission calls us forever and ever to experience way more trauma, condensed trauma, than we should probably pay attention to. Anyway, while life in a trading company and on the sea in the early 19th century was not this dangerous, I do want to emphasize, it is a pretty dangerous job, and lots of things could and did go wrong on a boat. Clearly, not enough to actually cause issues, but or to prevent people from wanting to sail. But the idea of sailing around the world is inherently risky, even without all the usual problem or all the supernatural problems that this particular crew faced.
Put me down. Let go.
Easy now. You're in a bad way.
It's the squid. Where is my Frenchman?
The squid's gone. Your mate was torn apart.
The dad. The beast is dead. How? How did you kill it?
We didn't. It left with the storm. Captain came up from the hold. Said he chased it off. You should rest.
A curse like that does not live for nothing.
Well, he bled out, and he came up from down below, which means we unlocked a new space, while the captain is walking up the stairs. Anyway, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. And off we go. Interestingly, it's like this guy got... So that guy started calling mutiny. He got overexcited and started and stabbed the kid. He was like, what the hell? And got in a struggle with him, blew his head off. And then Henry Brennan, coming down the stairs, sees the two dead people, goes like, oh, clearly I know what happened here, and clubs him over the back of the head. Unlucky. That was just a case of misunderstandings, in the extreme. Anyway, we can actually identify who this is already. So, he said Vedant, and he mentioned a French mate. The question is, should we say expired? No, we should not. What we should say is probably torn apart by a giant beast. Captain kinda sus. Captain is super sus. But yeah, extreme weather, disease, accidents, mutiny, pirates. Yep. In 1807, or I guess when it happens, everything goes wrong, 1803, not necessarily a great time to, Okay, so you were identified, good. Anyway, let's go back a little bit farther to Peter Milroy, unknown soul. We actually know who this is, because he was also Austrian, and we only have one Austrian guy. And we are still missing 2 parts to this thing. 2 parts to the Doom. Yeah, they were both German. The bosun was incredibly Austrian, given that he literally said Verdammt in the script, and that just gives it away. But yeah, he's missing his arm, and that's why I'm going to say he was torn apart, because you're kind of supposed to have two arms. And yes, the captain is about as sus as it gets, because he did something. And that something was apparently enough to make the Kraken just give up. Just leave. But, yes. Unfortunately, we have now some questions. 4 wayward souls. So we actually know who this is. We should not know who this is yet, and clearly, like, we don't identify it yet, but, I'll tell you right now. He's our narrator. Alive, and we know he's in Morocco. You know, I will default to you, Meerkat, but let me read that out loud because that's important. If I'm remembering correctly from my module on the East India Company, they tended to lose a lot of their crews on the outgoing trip, enough that they had to hire Indian sailors for the return trip. This would not surprise me, because, yeah, sailing was not good, and the next arc of this game, because we aren't just working from the end. We are jumping all over left, right, center, and some bonuses, as we are traversing this ship. So, next up we should go to Chapter 1, which is... maybe we don't. I don't remember if we go to Chapter 1 or Chapter 5 next. It's one of the two. But that's a lot of blood on this the Orlop deck. Has a whole lot of blood on it, and that's probably not good. Oh! It is Chapter 2 next, I guess. Whatever this one is. Here we go! A cow is our entire... Well, someone else just died, apparently.
Hit her here. One swing. Get through the skull in stone or brain. I'll cut her throat when you've done it. Here? Yeah. Come on before she kicks up.
Well, one person talking is about as Irish as it gets.
You alright there, sir?
Never been on a farm, Chuck?
Mind your shoes now.
Well, Charlie here is one of the guys in the back there. There's you. There's you. And who's the one who guided it? You must be the one guiding the whole thing. Presumably, that is the ship's cook. Who's Irish. And is obviously Irish. But I'm noticing we're getting some severe frame drops, so we will enjoy the much happier music for a moment. And while it recovers, another thing I like in the history of this game is how diverse the ship's manifest is. Because, of course, in 1807, the British Empire is truly global. Chapter 2, A Bitter Cold. It is truly extremely global, and people would be traveling all over the place to and from England, and while traveling was dangerous, this cargo ship would have guests, so it would do trading and diplomacy, corporate diplomacy, And pretty much anything else you can imagine, ferrying passengers around. The Formosans in this game are diplomats and keepers of the thing. We'll get to that maybe in this stream. I don't know, actually. But if we do, it's kind of my least favorite part of the game's story, though it does fit the tropes of the time really, really well. It unfortunately doesn't really... While it does a good job on humanizing the Formosans, they are still protectors of, things. And that is potentially problematic. Anyway, we do not seem to be recovering, so, whoops. In the meantime, yeah, this is a fairly short part, you can see, just 3 parts. And then the next chapter is murder. The calling, unholy captives, etc. Anyway, someone died earlier. He was wrapped and needed to get up to the top deck. Yeah, I mean, true. Sailors are definitely diverse as it is, but how truly globalized it is a product of the 17th, 18th, 19th centuries. Couple hundred years of increased amounts of globalization, really at the hands of the early corporations, the Dutch East India Company, the Honorable British East India Company, etc. Really do a lot to kind of get sailors all into the same place.
Lung disease, not consumption. Made worse by the cold.
Will it spread?
If so, we'd all have it. They must have picked it up at the Alaska house. I checked all hands just now, and everyone is healthy.
And him? What are his chances?
I gave him some laudanum. We'll see.
Well, you are the one who dies later. You are someone we have not met yet. And you are our good fellow Henry Evans, who we know has to survive and lives in Morocco. And this is someone out there. Unfortunate. Is there anything else we can actually see or do in this room? Well, what is out here? Ah, another guy. Hello, other guy. The fact that these two are both Indian makes me think that one of the guys who died is supposed to also be, but we need to take a look around, because this is the part of the game where it starts getting a lot trickier if we aren't careful. Oh look, and these two still exist. Hello, these are our first look at the Formosan contingent. And Dragon Wolf. That is not what he did, but that would be spoilers for the very end of the game. Anyway. Illness. It is unfortunately just illness. Yep. Because we haven't even gone to the craziest supernatural part of this thing. We will see if we get to it. I don't think we do, but it has to do with why there are giant bloodstains on, everything. Hello? Where did the light go? Oh, did I just miss a finish? Okay. Neat. Okay. Fair play. Yeah. There is one chapter of the game that we cannot get.
Sayed? Sayed उठो कुछ पी लो
Well, we know his name. And there are the two. There are a whole bunch of other people sleeping. With these convenient tags on them. With numbers. This feels to me like it's a gameplay convenience, but unfortunately there are actually too many. It is not as easy as just... You can identify each person based off their tag, and this is their order on the ship manifest. I wish it was that easy, but it is not. There are also some Russians bickering. Hello, yes. This is actually out by their bunks. It's these three. Actually, all have their own bunks, but yeah. I don't know how much of it you guys are seeing, but luckily this is not exactly a frame rate intensive game. This unknown soul, whose name we know. It is Saeed. Yeah, I wish I could read it. It doesn't. I will check before I walk out, but it was a little bit too. It was a little bit too blurry for me to read on that first check. Solomon Saeed died of illness. And we got 3 more! Yay! What to do? Boop. And we know that the surgeon is alive in Africa. 1, 2, and 3. But yes, we will attempt to read this text, these texts as we go on to our next part. Let me see, is this... I cannot crouch. I will have to find a better choice. Yeah, I can't read that. It's too pixelated with our very visible pixels. Well. Oh well. 2 people died of pneumonia. Or of some related catastrophe. And that finishes off the chapter. The cow. Oh, we actually should be able to identify who this is. Why am I able to identify who this is? It's another one of the Indian contingent. Okay. Huh. I wonder actually... We can kind of just rough guess who it is, potentially. Renfred, Abraham, or William. Wonder why we can do that. Let me check. I don't think this one helps us check, but this one should.
Sayed? Sayed उठो कुछ पी लो
Number 51. Right. Yeah, he's the other one who died. Okay. So let's see who number 51 on the ship's manifesto is, and we can use that as a starting place. It's my best bet as to how we might possibly know that. Yep. And so we keep going, and we are slowly piecing together the traditional story. Wow. That's enough for us to actually figure out who that is? I'm surprised I'm able to figure out who that is. We don't get another bargain. Yup. Kill with a sword by an unknown attacker. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. We are actually able to figure out this one, technically. Wonder why. But yes, we have arrows. A higher difficulty means it will be more difficult to deduce this person's identity. Focus on easily deduced identities first and leave the more difficult ones for later. I mean, I have a fairly good idea as to who it is. Because there are not very many midshipmen. But I don't know who knifed him yet. So, because I don't have all the pieces, so it doesn't matter. Anyway. Progress, I guess? And I can try and... We'll do a few more here, because we have another half an hour, see if we can get to more spooky, supernatural nonsense. Because, yeah, there is more of it. There's always more of it. There will always be more of it. We just have to know where to look. There's that again. There's that. That is not a path up. Does this open? It does. What paths can we take here as we seek our next disaster? There is no one there. That was not the place where we need to go. What about on this side? That looks awfully suspicious, doesn't it? Well, gee whiz. Just when you thought there wouldn't be more bones, we find more bones. So yeah. I don't have a whole lot clever to say. I think most of us know, like, who the...
Someone shoot the damn thing!
Huh. As I said, more spooky supernatural nonsense. Who are you? Actually, do we have no idea? What were you doing back here? Were you just hiding? I mean, that's fair, that's what I would do. Yeah, did I not mention that there were snow crab spiders? Oh. You got injured and limped your way over here. Rough go of it, dude. So yeah, he took a spike through the back. Yeah, I know, this is the part that freaks me out the most too. The giant, like, snow crab demon things. Stuff. They're terrible. I hate them. So many people die here. Spiked. Yep, spiked by a terrible beast seems like a good solution. I want to check, cause what other memories was he in? Oh, this is the only memory he's in. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Ta-da! We can make bookmarks in our story and go from there. But we have not seen him before. So I have no way to guess who he is. Oh yeah, it is a stray bullet. You are correct. Sadly, we are not in a great position. Yeah, you're right, there's no spike here, it's just a bullet. Fair enough. Shot by a gun. Friendly fire. Yeah, the Kraken is so big that it's okay. These are just all the arachnophobia, plus all of the rest of it. And the being able to just fling spikes out that just do murders. I don't recommend. This is obviously the part that is least properly derived from any actual novel, unlike the Kraken, which appears all over this kind of literature. But crab demons do not. Crab demons just don't.
I've got you. Don't move. I'll get you down.
Hey look, they killed one. But you're dead. You're not dead. You wanted the gun. You're the ship's bosun. You're either tired or injured. So the entire crew of the midshipmen just got wrecked. That's the surgeon. That's a guy we don't know yet. And this guy is somebody. Yeah, so that's where all the blood comes from, is the horrible crab monsters. Yay. You know, there's lots of things that will kill someone. Horrible crab monsters are. I think we can agree this one is clearly spiked by a terrible beast. And that's Thomas Sefton, the cook. No, actually, he's not. I'm pretty sure he's actually. What was the other one he showed up? Because he showed up on this one. And where's the other one he showed up? He showed up down here in the bitter cold. So never mind. He's actually the butcher, who was the super Irish one. The super Irish one. There we go. Yeah. It kind of does, Meerkat. And you're right that it is not a terrible, a terrible choice for inspiration, because obviously crabs were super well known and were freaky. They were still super freaky. But, you know, I don't have to like it. Oh yes, just give us the entire crab monster, with the body. I'm sure that's fine. If I remember right, this one's kind of horrifying, everything. Kind of horrifying everything. Okay, you're the one who gets the gun. You are someone... Okay, you're that guy. Oh, you got... You did get spiked. I just don't know if you got spiked, if you died because of that spike, or because of something else. Well, that turned out poorly for you. And for you. 2 of you are just dead at the same time. And there's a whole other beastie down there with the captain, or no, Brennan. Or somebody, yes. And they lit the whole thing on fire, so, oh yeah, if you've seen the size of, like, an Alaskan snow crab, they're terrifying. I am not a fan. So... I'm going to say that he burned to death instead of got spiked, because it could be either, but the on-fireness of the crab seems to be a relevant bit of information. Anyway, he's one of the midshipmen. I actually don't know which one he is. Why does it say... dang it, that was not what I wanted to do. Why did it say that... yeah, there is no information there. Why does it say that he's easy to identify? Because, like, there are only 2 options for who these are. Actually, I can brute force this. I probably should not brute force this, but I totally can brute force this. In that... they are both midshipmen. And, being both midshipmen, we are able to kind of just guess what happened. You died, then 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 you bled out. Oh, but... okay. But I can't guess who this is, because I don't know who... well, actually, I think I can probably break this one, because I have secret information, known as I have played this game before. But I still think I'm getting it wrong. I still think I'm backwards. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm backwards. We will see if that sticks this time. And if it doesn't stick, we will not worry about it, and we will kind of just keep rolling. Midshipman, please. It did... it stuck! There's the butcher. And there's Charles. And it is this guy. Died to an illness. And we have now finished more things. And we only have a few minutes left in the whole, everything. Yeah, you lit the thing on fire and then both of you died at the same time. Which is a rough go. Super rough. Not a fan. Anyway, I feel like I have not said, like, any history in this, so do you guys have any questions about the time period, about the literature that this is drawing on, or by Robert Louis Stevenson, Jules Verne, and everyone else, Herman Melville, the whole kind of nautical literature boom in the 19th century, that this game is definitely stealing the plot of, even as it bends the genre quite far. And thank you, Not Aphid, for the follow. I'm sorry for all the lag, but I appreciate the follows so much. Well, fair. No, that's reasonable. You just flung the torch at it, which is good. You guys got wrecked. You're about to get wrecked. You're super dead. Oh. Okay, you're the one who crawls off and dies later. And yeah, both of these guys take a... thing to the face. Oh, good. Thank you for coming, and thanks, Meerkat, for inviting people. I have not said coherent things this time, as it turns out. I even did research for this one, so, like, I had plans to say coherent things, and then I just didn't. Whoops. I hope you are enjoying it anyway. I can see who these guys are. Don't know how we're supposed to identify them yet, but that's okay. Oh, not what I wanted to do. Back. Who is this? How did they die? Strangled by a beast. This is a very fun game. I deeply enjoy this game, even though I am clearly not good at... Even though this is not a complicated game that really should take quite as much brain power as it does take, I'm not sure why it is so... why I have said so little important. I think partially the problem is that it is 19th century and it is therefore journalism, and I have no idea what I'm talking about because it's too modern. It's like several hundred years too modern. I'm a medievalist. Don't make me do modern stuff. Oh. Huh, yes, quite. As you are coming down towards the lazarette, you get stabbed. You get stabbed. And you got murder death. It was strangled. There was these little grabby, annoying claw things. And you could hear them choking. And just think. You're like, you know, that was spooky. We can get one... But, like, we can only get, like, one spooky thing per voyage, right? Hard limit. Hard limit, one spook per voyage. And then you get a surprise Kraken on top of this. Really a grim time for everyone. And them all.
What's going on?
Stay back! It's already going to Nick.
Hey! Come on, boss! No, get there! Hey! Cat!
I'm shocked that this dude survives, because that is going right for his face. Speaking of which, it's already done for someone up here. Oh god. Oh god. There are a lot of corpses on this map. But, who are you? I don't know who you are. You are just a sailor. And you died, though your name appears to have been... Well, I think it's safely his... This guy's name is probably Nick, and he took a spear through the face. Well, there are two super dead guys. So, like, good luck identifying which one is which. Because why would this make it, easy? Anyway, I don't know who it is, but I do know that they sure got spiked through by a terrible beast. Interesting. You don't count that body. Just this body. Okay. Presumably this one is Nick. And more spooky ghost lights. Hello? Please don't make me get stuck. I enjoy being not stuck. Okay. We did not get stuck, and we can look at how pretty the ship is. Even though it is in ruins, it has been drifting for 5 years, it is not in a good condition. But it is still pretty. And we'll finish off this chapter, I think, and then kind of do concluding thoughts. Well, yeah, that's fair. Did he just... What did you do? How did you get there? Did you just get flung? Yes. I would agree with that. Absolutely need some therapy. And, yeah, the whole squad's gonna need some help after this. All, like, 3 of us that are left. I would agree with that. Fell out of the rigging would be a good guess. And I assume he's our first death. He's the only death left of this. Anyway, this is identifiable, so I assume that this is Nick. Who is named Nick here? Hello? Nicholas Baudril. Got speared, not spiked, by a beast. Yep, it is you who is the only one left. What a shock. And good music. That is another thing this game has in spades. It has such adventurous music, even as the events are all horror, that it kind of... I don't know, that's kind of the thing I keep taking away from this as I play on these playthroughs of it, is that... I'll keep this thought after this. Oh. Right. A random lightning strike. Strip just got electrocuted. Okay. Okay. No, fair play. Unfortunate. Not the one I was expecting, but you know. Rip that guy. Anyway, the takeaway, since I can't really speed this up, that I keep having from this is to view it more from the lens of literature than of history, because even though it is grounded in the actual trade networks of the East India Company, everything about this, with its supernatural focus, and the mermaids and sea demons and stuff that appears, really makes me kind of lean into the literary aspect of it a little bit more. I wonder if we can figure out who this is. He's clearly a topman, because, you know, there's not that many people. There's 4 options. No, I'm not going to guess which of the four Chinese top men it is, because that would be excessive. But no, he did not get clubbed. You wanted to know how someone could be electrocuted in 1803. That's how. Oh good, we can walk down this ladder. Whee! So, from the lens of this literature that I think it draws from more heavily, it all has this specific tone, and this game defies the genre of that. Because while horrible things happen on the boats, they are ultimately stories of adventure that more often than not have some semblance of a good ending for somebody. Whether that's Kidnapped or Treasure Island or 20,000 Leagues Under the Seas. horrifying things happen with absolutely horrific death. But people survive it and can tell the stories, and it becomes this big adventure to consume safely from your homes. This game defies that literature, both by being a game, and so you have to actually hear and see it instead of just read about it, and by changing the genre, by changing the narrative pacing, but to focus in on moments of death, it really emphasizes how terrifying these would be to live through, even if it makes for a pretty rip-roaring story on the end, full of twists and turns and betrayals and high seas daring do. It kinda sucked to live through, and it kinda sucked to be stuck on one of these boats in the middle of the ocean for months at an end, just kinda hoping that you made it through to the other side. You got decent wages, but your corporate overlords don't really care if you lived or died. And, I mean, truly, we don't care if they lived or died. The only reason we care is to figure out how much damage was done to the ship to pay off the insurance. The deaths are part of that, but, you know, we are corporate overlords, and they are forcibly humanized by the memento mortem. But we do not inherently particularly care. Corporatism is... The Honorable East India Company has given us a job to do, and we're just gonna figure out what happened here and how much money was owed. Except we won't, because we are at the end of the stream. I apologize for the lag in this. I suspect it's a problem of the screen of the game is trying to upscale to my screen resolution, and my internet cannot handle that. But I cannot change the screen resolution, so... Whoops. Oh yeah, it goes so far to humanize these characters, even in very basic ways. Still, we can, however, leave the Obra Dinn at any time. I have no idea if things will go badly off of this. Hello. Can I talk to you? I cannot talk to you. Still, this was the return of the Obra Dinn. If you like this, do consider supporting the show by follows and subscriptions. $5 a month here on Twitch. Or if you have Amazon Prime, you get one sub totally free every single month. And it helps me make the show better. Gives me more resources to do research, more games to play, better hardware so we get less lag, and better internet so we get less lag. And, you know, eventually, things more in my wheelhouse, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But before we get there, it's October, and so it is spooky season. So the next 3 streams, so up until Halloween itself, we're going to be playing spooky games. This was the first one, but make sure you join the Discord, which is right here. Make sure you, and it will also be in the description of the YouTube video. So join the Discord to help suggest or inflict games for me to play. I will reserve some control to pick history games until Halloween, where if you guys really want to inflict a horror game on me, we can probably make that happen. But if no one suggests anything, the next stream will probably be Dark Souls 2, just because I've got it installed already. So you have that to look forward to on Saturday. Stream time will be 11 a.m. Central Time, so, what is that? 6 p.m. Central European Time. So I will see you all then, and I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your evening. And let us wander around to the highest point. And sadly, there's no music. In the present day, there is no music. There is only the sound of the sea. Okay. Bye, everyone. And hopefully the lag was at least